Today I'd like to talk about endurance rides, aerobic training, why it's so important, why it should be the bread and butter of your training, and how to do it basically. So if you look at the training zones, we've got 7 training zones here. Typically 5 are the most important ones for most people, and you can see that the second one is aerobic, is the endurance thing that we're going to talk about here. And no matter how you set your zones, usually you'll find one that's been described as endurance. So you can do endurance rides on any bike, and off-road or on-road or running or cycling. If you're a cyclist, you can do endurance training by running now and again to mix things up, or particularly in the winter when it's cold, it's much easier to keep warm when you're running. And just get out and enjoy the countryside. It's probably why most of us enjoy the sport of endurance sport. So more specifically, short rides can help build your volume and form a structure for your training. So some people like to commute, and cycling or running to work and back is a great way to get some training in without really using any of your personal time. And then at the weekends, when people have got more time, like to get out and do some miles and enjoy the countryside and really have a bit of fun. In endurance training, you can stop at cafes and socialise, and the exact pace isn't that critical. If you're feeling good or you're in a hilly area, then often you might go into your zone 3 tempo zone on climbs, and that's fine. And actually, when I specify endurance rides for people, I usually suggest that if they're feeling good, that they ride the climbs in their zone 3 in the tempo zone. So how do you use it? Well, firstly, the more you do, the better you'll be to a large extent, and but that's only with the caveat that the more you do, the more low intensity training you do, the better you'll be. If you do too much high intensity training, then you just get overly tired. Aerobic efficiency, you develop aerobic efficiency by riding more and running more. And if you're training for a long endurance event, then your endurance pace is the pace that you're going to be riding most of the time, or running for most of the time. And so therefore your endurance rides are basically building up the volume or the length, the duration that you can ride or run for so that you can complete the event. If you can easily complete the distance of the event, then you're looking to get faster, but just spending more and more time in the endurance zones will help you become more and more efficient, and you'll get faster if you combine that with harder sessions. So it takes time to build fitness for endurance events and build aerobic fitness. So you need to start a few months before your event building up the training volume, and if you want to get faster, just spending time on your bike or running to develop that fitness that you need for your event is going to pay dividends. If you start a few weeks before, then you're not going to make yourself much fitter. The great thing about endurance rides, though, is that they can be really sociable. As I mentioned in the introduction, the pace isn't particularly critical as long as you hit that endurance zone. And even if you're riding really easily or running really easily with fens that are slower, then that's fine. Just spending time out there, turning your legs over, is going to make a difference. And if you need a bit of space, then spending time out at a low intensity is a perfect way to do a bit of contemplation and enjoy some personal space. One thing I like about endurance training is it can be really useful to form a structure, and I certainly like to have a daily routine, and routine's really important. And also doing a small amount frequently makes a big difference. So if you can get out and do something relatively easy every day, or even twice a day, and then something a bit longer at the weekends, as well as 1 or 2 days harder, then basically you've got all you need to get fit and get faster. One of the things I really enjoy about the endurance riding is that I can get out on my mountain bike, spend some time on the road and some time off the road, and enjoy the trails and get some good training in.